Wonderful Production Disclaimer. The spiritual, mental, and physical faculties bestowed upon us by our Creator are to be safeguarded under His guidance, as contained in His written word, the Holy Bible. As custodians of these gifts, we hold the liberty to accept or reject any teachings. However, the Scriptures within the Holy Bible is the final arbitrator in guiding our decisions to accept or reject any teachings. The stewardship of our faculties lies in our hands. It's your faculties, therefore it's your choice to accept or reject. Thank you. Please consider that I am still in the process of studying and seeking understanding. It is evident that God's inclinations and tendencies lean towards sharing, and it is inherent in His nature to do so, especially when it concerns humanity. Assuming you are familiar with the Scriptures that emphasize this truth, I will share some reflections. In the book of Revelation, God expresses His intention to share His throne with humanity, specifically the overcomers, spiritual Israel. Through Jesus Christ, He also shares His divine nature with humankind. The depth of this divine condescension is beyond our finite comprehension and will likely take eternity to fully grasp. I've only touched upon 2 instances where God shares tangible aspects of existence with humanity. As we recognize, God is the master of time. He is the very inventor of it, as recorded in Genesis. The first recorded occasion of sharing the power to calibrate time, not change time, through the sun and moon is found in the book of Joshua, where the sun and moon stood still. The second instance occurs during the reign of King Hezekiah. God granted Hezekiah the opportunity to determine the degree by which the sun should move forward or backward. As a result of Hezekiah's decision, all who identify as spiritual Israelite have been entrusted with the responsibility to calibrate time, not change time. Thus, God shares the power to calibrate time with His earthly people and, by extension, with all of humanity. Satan has perpetually desired to control the calendar, as seen in Isaiah 14 and Daniel 7. In His wisdom, God granted Hezekiah, and consequently all of humanity, a share in the power to calibrate time. Not to alter time itself, but to fine-tune it based on Hezekiah's choice of a 10-degree backward movement of the sun. This act was a direct affront to Satan, who sought calendar dominion. Imagine the unique animosity Satan harbored when God authorized all of humanity to calibrate time. Unfortunately, humanity has often approached this calibration incorrectly, deviating from God's original design. Dear friends, the crisis of the mark of the beast looms. We have been granted the ability to read the skies and observe the celestial bodies, allowing us to calibrate time, not to change time. This knowledge is crucial for discerning God's true monthly new moon day, His weekly 6 working days, and His 7th-day weekly Sabbath. The Gregorian calendar and other calendars used by various countries and religions will undergo changes in due course, and all need to know how to read God's clock, even God's calendar in the skies, in order to take a stand for their Creator in a world bent on opposing God in every way possible, including God's worship time as deeply entrenched in His clock or calendar in the sky. Despite the limitations imposed by Christendom and other religious structures on managing worship times, all individuals who love God and uphold the freedom to worship according to the dictates of conscience maintain an inherent right bestowed by God to educate themselves and calibrate time in alignment with divine principles outlined in the Bible. This entitlement finds its roots in the historical event of the sun's 10-degree retrograde movement during Hezekiah's era, a phenomenon under God's control. This celestial occurrence is the individual's divine authority, granted by God, to calibrate time independently, ensuring adherence to the entirety of God's Word without undue reliance on human intermediaries. In essence, we possess the God-given right to learn and calibrate time autonomously, independent of human external influences, but sole reliance on God, the final arbitrator of time. Our accountability regarding time will be severe. Thanks for listening. I am Sarah for Wonderful.